Hi, this is TapCat. Welcome to part 13 of Let's Play Prison Architect. We're going to take in yet another shipment of prisoners. I've long since lost track of how many that is, but hopefully it won't be one too many. In addition, we put a lot of work in last time out into trying to make the kitchen run better. And we put a couple of prisoners on the schedule to work there. Now, I'm hoping that's what these guys are going there for. Yep, awesome. So now we're going to have 4 people working for the next few hours to make this meal happen. And I, set up more cookers and stuff. So, yeah, I can only hope that this will, in fact, get the job done. I would think that it would. And if I need to, I'll throw a couple more guys back here. And if I need to, I'll put a couple more cookers back here. I was just thinking, I've been doing it like you would in a normal kitchen where you put this stuff up against the wall, right? But, the way this game works, I sincerely doubt that you have to do that. And we could just, throw a bunch of cookers in here. Now, they cost money, so I'm not really looking to, enter the how many cookers can you possibly install contest. But we'll put in as many as we need to feed these prisoners. That much I can say. So one thing I think I am going to do, even though it's not something I'm terribly interested in, I was going to go ahead and hire, or rather research finance. We took the money for this stupid administration center a million years ago. And I'd like to get this off my to-do list. Actually, I'll tell you what I'd really like to get off my to-do list is this stupid CEO's letter. That's literally been on there from the beginning. Let's also go ahead, since I am going to go ahead and hire an accountant. It gives you access to see more of a true financial report for your prison. And so what I want to do is go ahead and set up an office for the accountant. Now that's assuming I can find a standard office desk like this one. And I want a chair. And of course, a file cabinet. 2, 3, 5. Okay, and all we need to do now is define it as an office. Okay, there it is. 4 by 4. That's what we need. Office desk, chair, filing cabinet. Yep, we'll have them all in mere moments. So, fair enough. All right, this is the big test. Can we feed the men? That really is what it comes down to. I sure hope so. I really, really don't like it when people are going hungry. Yeah, see, the meal was supposed to start at 11 a.m. and you really didn't have guys getting here until noon. That's what I was saying last time, too, that we needed a 2-hour meal period because it's not a question of whether you have enough food. They don't get there. And even now, like, they're here. There's all this food on the burner and they're not getting fed. What is going on? It's like there wasn't any food to begin with. What's this look like? And it's not as bad as I was afraid it was going to be. But people are just leaving because there's no food. Oh, guys, this is horrible. I actually think the biggest issue, as far as people getting in there, has to do with where I've got the kitchen. I really needed to have the kitchen and canteen closer. I kind of blew that. If I had it to do over again, I'd have this stuff back here somewhere. And there would be no doors that they had to feed through, no security doors. They would just, flow directly from someplace like the workshop right into the kitchen. I could do that. I could build a canteen and kitchen like as a replacement over here. And we strip this fence out. Yeah, that actually, it would cost money, no question about that. But I kind of think that that might be the way to go. God, what's funny is after all my work, I think I actually did worse satisfying their desire for food in this meal than I did yesterday before I added the staffing and all that. That's amazing. No good deed goes unpunished. Okay. Well, Unfortunately, I do not have the money to start building a new kitchen. That would have to wait a while. I mean, all those cookers and everything, and I have to build both. I can't just build, the canteen over here. Having those guys bringing the food over, that would be a disaster. I will say, I think I've said this before, I think designing a truly efficient prison and having the layout really work well, no matter, what is going on, I think it's very difficult. And it's really, if you haven't tried the game, it may not be apparent, but yeah, you try to set it up and you have certain things that, seem like a good idea. And maybe they were up to a certain point, and then you realize like, oh, yeah, actually that's got some major drawbacks to it. And the way I have the whole front area of the prison laid out is pretty horrible. The only part I'm even kind of happy with is how things are back here, so that, once they're back here, they can just flow relatively easily. If anything, what I would probably do now is define this area as the yard. That would not be, the worst. But yeah, it's really interesting trying to juggle all the priorities and, fix it where the workers can get where they need to go, even when it's in a prisoner area. But the prisoners can't easily just walk right out behind them. Well, I guess what we need to do is think about the next thing to build. And actually, I think a room that would just be really easy to get out of the way is this stupid cleaning cupboard. So it needs to be 3x3 and it needs to be indoors. And that is pretty much the sum total of everything that matters. So what I'm thinking... Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. Okay, how about we do this? To be 3x3, it really needs to be 5x5. So that's what I'll make it. All right. That's fine. And then we're just going to put a door, a regular old vanilla door here. And I'll just bust open this piece of fence and build a new piece of fence here. And then that way I can start assigning prisoners to work as janitors. And I may possibly let one of our existing janitors go. But this place is not so clean that I want to do anything to make it, you know, more dirty, to put it mildly. So let's see. Yeah, one way or another, I need to make sure we have food taken care of. If we can get that sorted out, I'm hoping that this meal just goes better. And, you know, I realize just there's some variation in these processes and it won't come out perfectly every single time. But if it looks like the evening meal is going to go okay, and once again, they're getting here with like 15 minutes left and they're not even all here. If I slow, no, that doesn't really matter. Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, what I was going to say is I am going, I think, to do what I mentioned last time, which is to simply allow some time to pass off camera and build up some money so that we could do things like relocate the kitchen or put in closed circuit TV. I think this is going to be a pretty boring series if I just have video after video of me sitting here and letting days pass where nothing significant is happening. By the way, before I forget, one thing I do want to do is turn off prisoner intake. We actually are at 27 out of 28, and we only have one guy due for release, so we don't want anybody to come in tomorrow. And I guess we got about another 10 minutes left as far as the meal time goes. God, it's like I need a 3-hour meal time with this thing way over here. So how did we do? Yeah, see, we're doing okay. We really are. It could be better, I believe, if I could somehow get it closer and give the men, you know, quicker access to it. But it's fine. The needs you have to worry about are the critical needs. And overall, we really don't have a lot of that. You know, we got one guy who's pissed off about his recreation. But you see those scores ebb and flow all the time. Like, this is the problem with our prison. It's the flow and the fact that there basically is none. And the only way I could fix that is with a lot of money, realistically. Alrighty. Well, you know, I could just leave this stupid thing open. Does it matter? I've had this one open. Oh, no, I haven't. Okay, never mind. It's just they can't really go anywhere, right? I mean, they're going to come out to the yard. Do I even care if they come out to the yard? No, not really. And who knows, that may help us at mealtime a little bit. So I guess we'll see come midnight how we did money-wise. I'm going to start speeding it up again. And we'll see momentarily We still have some people milling around, showering and whatnot, but for the most part, it's quieting down. What's he doing? Oh, I see. So we made $1,490 off license plates. I mean, I couldn't quite get all that, but it does look to me like we did pretty well for the day. And we're back up to 9,100, so that's not bad. Okay, now I did forget. Let me slow that down just for a moment. Oh, I guess I don't need to. You know why? Because for the cleaning cupboard, you literally don't need to put anything in there. All we have to do is define it. And then the other thing that I'm going to do is go into deployment, jobs, and I'm going to go ahead. Oh. Maybe I am and maybe I'm not. Apparently I'm not. I don't know if I made it too small. But it ain't working. Wait, I did define it, right? I'm not crazy. Yeah, it says cleaning cupboard. Is that all I needed to do? Don't get it. So, actually, hold on. Is this thing for the doors? Does this work? I mean, ever since I researched deployment, did I have the option? Oh, wait. Oh, I get it. It's not the door. Whew. I can't do that. I can do that here. And it won't let me do it there. So I don't like totally get what it's doing. But I kind of do. And it definitely does seem to me that, you know, we have the potential, if we redid this, it would help a lot. Because I think it would just automatically key the door now so that a workman doesn't need the guard to let him in this area. I mean, that would be a nice change because seriously, it's out of control how much we need guards to open all these stupid doors. Fair enough. Well, let's see. Is there anything else as far as oh, so by now, of course, we have researched the finance. We'll go ahead and hire the accountant. And so now I'll go ahead and slow time down a little bit. We can look, right? Where is it? Finance. There you go. I don't have to try to add this up in the few seconds that it's on the screen. So we make $4,100 a day with our current prisoner load of 26. And then out of that, we get all this. Now, I am pretty tempted to lay off a couple of workmen and pick up a couple hundred a day. It's just when we build stuff, it's so slow already. So that's kind of kept me from doing it. But we could use more guards. And then we have these administrator types, staff wages. I wonder, are these guys the staff and the warden's the administrator? I don't know. At any rate, food costs us another $312. So we're making $888 a day. That's not counting what we get from the workshop, which seems like it varies a lot, but let's call that $2,000 a day. So we could be clearing, somewhere around 2,500 to $3,000 a day, which is not bad. Actually, one thing I think we can do is add, I hate to spend more money, but the reality is we can put in another workshop saw and another workshop press. And then I just need to run utility to that. There you go. Okay. So that, in theory, maybe we won't have as much money today because I did that, but we'll have more money overall. So, going forward, we'll make more every single day. So, yeah. So I think I am. I'm going to cut this episode off shortly. And then next time around, what we'll do is I'll just have let some time pass. And when we come back, I'll have more money built up. And we'll certainly finish building these cells out. But more importantly, we'll take on another project, like build a whole cell block, relocating the kitchen and canteen, closed circuit TV, something like that. But I want to give you guys something interesting to see and not just kind of a bad ant farm day in and day out. All right, so hopefully that will work for everybody. And I think that's all for now. So thank you for watching. I hope we see you next time.